Welcome to the Business Buyer Diaries. My name is Nathan Platter. I'm a full-time employee, and I bought a business. I did everything right, from finding the deal, handling all the due diligence on 63 opportunities, and ultimately bought a profitable gym. And boy, was I in for a big surprise as a new owner. I chronicled everything in real time, including the biggest wins to the stressful nights at 2 a.m. I'm sharing my journey without sugarcoating anything, so you don't make the same mistakes that I did. Here's today's episode. I just want to give a shout out and just an acknowledgement. I got a call from my CPA that I had to wrap up with like months and months ago. It was the one that was more expensive, does more like granular accounting type stuff. But it's, hey, how's the business going? How are things going? And had to share like, it's not looking too good, man. It's looking pretty tight. And so we talked a little bit of strategy, a little bit of next steps on things that could happen or things that could happen. I could do, but he shared, actually, it was crazy. For one of our employees, in the vendor, like think like the top level vendor, like a Gusto or a Paychex or a, just like the payroll provider, just one of those type levels. Somehow, some way, I don't know, like no one can really figure it out, even the company. But one of the employees that was with us for a while was getting double paid from January through May, actually. And so it was a decent amount of several $1,000s. And the accountant said like, hey, like we raised a ticket to the payroll provider, but we thought they had taken care of it. We didn't monitor the ticket, so it just sat there. And so under our like guidance, of the $4,500 of overpay, 1,700 or so was under my CPA's responsibility. And so to make it right, former CPA is willing to wire me the funds to make that right as an apology. And so, obviously like I have a bookkeeper, and so the bookkeeper, I suppose, could have been responsible for the remaining like $3,000, whatever that adds up to. And it just kind of came out of nowhere. Like this morning, I pulled from the last of the line of credit. Like there's no more line of credit for the business side. So now, like, the only other cash I can get my fingertips on is personal cash or like personal credit cards or taking 401k. Like, it's personal funds. It's not business funds. And so, I just like shared with the CPA, like, wow, like, dude, thanks. I really appreciate it. Like, I accept the apology and like I appreciate the proactiveness and offer accepted. That'll help cover a little bit more runway. So. It just sucks all around. And so it was helpful to just talk to someone who's willing to own up to mistakes, do things right. I could go the rest of my life and never know about this issue. Like I never would have known, and the CPA would have known, and he would have had to live with that knowledge. And so it was just meaningful and just a validation. This is the same vendor that I'll have to go back and find out which episode it was, but someone who's willing to take a hit for doing the right thing morally. It means a lot, especially with right now, my stress is up, having to keep my family, my spouse in the loop, my wife, that like, hey, like it's looking pretty tough. Like, I don't know how things are going to go, but it's hard to stay optimistic right now about the business, and to just to have that grace from my wife it really hits me, because I've really staked my identity, my ability to produce, to be financially savvy, to run and operate, and to work a system. And I feel like I'm failing right now. And so I've been more transparent with my wife on our finances, which historically in our marriage, I haven't done. I've kind of handled everything and everything is taken care of. And this is a big L that I'm swallowing right now. And she's been gracious and forgiving. I'm like, this sucks. It's going to suck more, but I'm with you here. And to have this vendor CPA do something that I never would have known the other way is like, really means a lot. It really sets the bar and raises the standard for what a good working relationship should be. So I'm tearing. I don't tear up a whole lot. I tear up at Lord of the Rings. I tear up when I watch Rudy, and I tear up when this happens. So I just want to get this recording out while I'm still raw and still having those feels, because this is how a vendor needs to work with their clients, with their peers, with their superiors. And it's really pushing me to treat my people better. Because I don't, as of today, I'm not sure that this venture is gonna last. I want it to. I want to pull the strings. I want to do what's right, but I also want to do right by other people, even if I take a hit on it, and to do what's legal and moral and ethical, not just legal. And there is a difference. You can be legal and unethical. It's very possible to do. And yeah, this really just meant a lot to me. So, yeah, that's the state of the business. That's the state of vendor relationships. And I'm going to be reaching out to a former franchisee who has had to close things up, because I don't know how, if things have to close up, I don't know how to do it well. And I want to reach out to corporate, let them know, like, hey, except for a miracle that would come out of left field, I don't know how this is going to stay afloat. If this doesn't stay afloat, how do I wrap things up well so that I don't have like 5 years of tax headaches or employee lawsuits? I don't know. I don't want to have years of frustration. I want to end things cleanly and smoothly for everyone involved, because I don't know how to end things well. So I need to reach out to a former franchisee. I want to reach out to corporate, keep them in the loop on how things are going, and just give a shout out for how to do things well. Because I've seen how to not do things well too. So that's where we're at. That's where we're going. Tonight we're doing a pitch and presenting some really great info for some entrepreneurs wanting to buy businesses. I want to help them however I possibly can with all the battle scars that I've got. That's where we're at. That's where we're going. Let's rock and roll. This has been another episode of the Business Buyer Diaries. Subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. I hope you're realizing that business ownership is no cakewalk. Check the podcast notes for a link to the DIY due diligence program, the complete list of show sponsors, and for media inquiries. Music written and composed by Wes Schrock. I'm your host, Nathan Platter. Join me again on the next one.